Kalispera. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the AGORA talk, Meet the Film Commissions, by your side, before and after production from the north to the south of Europe. We're very happy to be hosting this talk in partnership with the region of Central Macedonia and the Film Office of Central Macedonia, and of course the European Union of Commissions Network. And I won't say much because we have many things to talk about and many speakers, so I would immediately like to call on stage Vicky Hatzivasiliou, Vice Governor of Tourism, Region of Central Macedonia. I'm so sorry. It's my... Also, I'm nervous in front of you, so...
Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our Regional Governor of Central Macedonia, Mr. Apostolos Ditzikostas, I would like to welcome you all here today and to thank you for joining us in the panel discussion Meet the Film Commissions, a networking event that our region and the Film Office of Central Macedonia are organizing in the framework of AGORA Talks, together with the European Film Commission's network and the Hellenic Film Commission of Creative Greece. I would like to thank Mr. Leonidas Christopoulos, the CEO of the Hellenic Film and Audiovisual Center Creative Greece, for his presence here today. It's an honor for us. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank our special guests coming from the north to the south of Europe. Mr. Adrian Mitchell from Norway, head of Oslo Film Commission and EUFCN co-president. And Mrs. Martina Lovaschio from Italy. Benvenuti. Film Fund Manager at the Apulia Film Commission. Our Greek speakers, Mr. Neoklis Mandas, Director of the Hellenic Film Commission, and Miss Lina Milonaki. She is very precious for me. Head of our Film Office, Central Macedonia. And last, but of course not least, the moderator of this panel, Miss Venia Vergou, EUFCN Manager. I would also like to thank the Thessaloniki International Film Festival and the AGORA team for generously supporting and hosting our events every year. Since the establishment of our Film Office, Central Macedonia, 4 years ago, through the initiative of the Regional Governor, Apostolos Ditzikostas, we have been working hard, very hard, to create a film-friendly environment in our region. Today, we are proud to have successfully supported more than 100 audiovisual projects of all sizes, from Hollywood films to short films and student productions in Central Macedonia. We are also delighted to present, for the first time today, a very short promotional video we have just released titled Filmed in Central Macedonia. This video showcases the results of our dedicated efforts to establish our region as a competitive filming hub. We are also very pleased with the synergies we have developed so far between the audiovisual and tourism sectors, which enhance the extroversion of our region and promote it as an attractive location for international productions. At the same time, Central Macedonia is becoming a dynamic host for major industry events and strengthens its position in the global audiovisual landscape. One of our most recent achievements in this direction has been hosting the EAVE Producers Workshop one of the most important professional training events in the European film industry, taking place next year. The EAVE Producers Workshop will be hosted in Thessaloniki in October 2025, with the support, of course, of the Region of Central Macedonia. Now, allow me to give the floor to Mr. Leonidas Christopoulos for a short introduction on his part. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. It's always a pleasure to be here and take the floor after you to give this small introduction. Well, I had prepared something really short, but I think I'm going to keep it in my pocket and I'm going to say something out of heart because I really want to welcome you here, the film commissioners from north to south. Meet Leonidas, he's the Greek guy doing the job in the Hellenic Film and Audiovisual Center. You know, when we started writing the law, the new law on the new organization and the new financial tools and everything, I had to ask myself, you know, what does a film commissioner do? Because I wanted to strengthen this institution in the new law that we were designing for the Greek audiovisual sector. So what I did is that I asked the experts, so I asked Vanya to tell me what the film commissioners do. So we had a long meeting, and it was the first time that we incorporated in the law the actual job description that the film commissioners have around the world. So we now have a very concrete job description, duties of what a film commissioner should do. And it's also the first time that we incorporated in the law what the film offices do, which was a very important step forward because film offices, of course, operated like the one in Central Macedonia, which has been around for 4 years and it's doing an excellent job up until now, but still we need the, the institutional framework of how these things work and how they can be supported. So I can really tell you that from 2025, we will reopen a program that we had in the early years of supporting the regional film offices in terms of resources, of funds that are needed for the film offices to operate under the coordination of the Hellenic Film Commission that is in the Hellenic Film and Audiovisual Organization. Saying that, I really need to express my thanks to the Thessaloniki International Film Festival, to all the people in the AGORA sector who are doing an excellent job hosting these events and bringing us all together. We are now in a stage where I think that after the difficulties of this transition period, the whole thing is going to boom in Greece. So by saying that, I really think that these types of events, these types of networking are really important for us because we take the know-how, we give whatever know-how we have in Greece. I think we have a lot by now. And for us, it is really important, and we really wait to see what you guys are doing and how we can do our jobs better in Greece in order to have an even better network. So thank you all. Thank you to the region. Thanks to the Thessaloniki International Film Festival. We'll always support. We will support the EAVE event, of course, which is very important for us as well. And I hope you have a very good discussion. Thank you all very much.
Thank you also, Mrs. Hatzivasiliou and Mr. Leonidas Christopoulos, for this honor. It is great to have you here, and a massive thank you for this support on this event. I couldn't be happier for having this talk at the AGORA of the Thessaloniki Film Festival, and a massive thank you to Angeliki and Thanos for all the support from the beginning. It is a very big moment for us because as a representative of the European Film Commission's network, together with Adrian Mitchell, the co-president of the board of directors, it is very important for us to shed light to what film commissions do all over Europe and to understand their work in depth, because there are so many different models and we can all learn from each other. So this moment of having the different perspectives from Italy, Norway, Greece, and at the momentum of implementing the new legislation in Greece, it's extremely important for us. And that's why we are extremely thankful for your presence here today. And we hope this is only the beginning of such discussions and conversations. So I would like to ask first Martina Lovacio to start her presentation. This is going to be the way we have decided to go through this talk. Each of our esteemed speakers are going to have their presentation so that everyone in the room can understand what exactly they're doing in their territories. And after this round of presentations, we will open a discussion, we will make some questions, answers, and it will be the moment for all of you to participate if you need to, okay? And we'll have, of course, a Q&A altogether. So I'm asking Martina Lovacio from Puglia Film Commission to start her presentation. Hi. And thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. So I will start with a video that we have prepared. I will, begin.
Mi sposo!
Da me, că te dichi cum să mergi la UE.
Thank you. That was just a video to show some locations, because in my presentation I will be talking more about the fund and how we work in terms of like the support that we offer to the audiovisual system. But because Puglia is kind of like, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the region, it's kind of like the heel of the boot. So we just wanted to give you an idea of how there are different types of locations which differ from the stereotypical image that one might associate with Puglia, which is like, obviously the beach, the sea, the coast. And that was a montage of films which range from like domestic popular comedies to international productions that shot in the region, as well as author films. So it was just a way to kind of like introduce the territory. And so Puglia Film Commission was founded in 2007, and in a process that kind of was kind of like similar to what happened in other regions in Italy. It's one of the oldest and most established, and it has attracted many productions on the territory throughout the years by establishing a set of schemes, also financial schemes. And we can say that we are one of the most established and kind of like most generous in terms of financial support in Italy, together with Piedmont and IDM. We can say fairly this. And so there are different types of instruments that the Film Commission uses to, or has used to increase, develop the audiovisual sector on the territory. Not only, obviously, the production fund, which is, of course, one of the most important instruments. Just to clarify this, so the Puglia Film Commission the Puglia region has, since its inception, has offered regional funds to producers, supporting different stages of the chain, so pre-production, development, production, and also promotion. But since 2015, we started using European funds, which means European Regional Development Funds. And originally, these funds were managed and operated directly by the Puglia region. So the Film Commission worked as somehow supporting the management of the funds. Whereas since 2020, we have been designated intermediate body by the Puglia region, which means that we now operate the fund directly. From the very moment, which is the writing of the notice, the publication, the application process, up until the disbursement of the balance. So we follow the whole process. What we wanted to gain, what the region wanted to gain by doing this, giving this trust in us, was to obviously take an advantage of the technical ability, the familiarity with the audiovisual context that we have built throughout the years, and also with the producers' problems that we are more aware of than the institution, the public administration that is the Puglia region. So we can say that we have, managed that successfully, even though obviously it's a complex process that of managing a fund. Yeah, this is just an overview of other instruments that we have established. We have obviously a service of video and photo scouting, so productions that want to come on the territory can first reach out our production office, and based on their script or the pitch or an idea, they will deliver them a set of photos or videos. Then we organize fun trips for a group of maximum 3 people for 3 days on the region. And we host them entirely and show them around. We have 2 location managers that are part of our team and that will guide people through producers. Then we have development fund, which is not active now, but which will be relaunched in 2025, that has supported local talents by funding the stage of pre-production and development and financing stories which were set explicitly in the region or written by authors that were from Puglia. Then we have a network of industry events. The most important one is the so-called co-production forum, which will take place actually next week in November. And this year we'll run in cooperation and partnership with European Producer Club. So the annual meeting of EPC will take place in Puglia and Lecce, and together we'll run the co-production forum. So we have selected some projects from production companies from Puglia in order for them to meet with the members of the EPC. And then I wanted to mention that we have these 4 facilities which are called cineporti, which are hubs based on the spread on the territory, the main cities basically. Our offices are in Bari, but all these facilities can be used by productions coming in the region for production needs. So they can use it as offices, casting space, set design, whatever kind of need they might have throughout the shooting. And we also host the Creative Europe Media Desk of Southern Italy in Bari, in our office. Then we have a network of festivals that have kind of rely on the Film Commission for support, financial and logistic. And since last year, we have created this tender called Apulia Cine Festival Network. So they have applied in order to be financed, because the idea is to kind of rationalize the process of financing them. The most important festival that we have is the BFest, Bari International Film Festival, which has recently changed the artistic director. So this year will run in March, and we are thinking of moving the co-production forum in parallel, shifting in parallel to the festival, so that we can finally bring together the industry, our main industry event, with our main festival. And then we are involved into 4 interregs with different countries, also Greece, the Czech project, which focuses on cinetourism, Alice project, which focuses on animation, and other 2 projects with Albania and Montenegro. This is just to give you an idea of the amount of before the creation of the foundation of the Film Commission and after, the amount of films that have been projects that have been shot in Puglia, just to give a sense of how this has really changed the landscape of the audiovisual in the region, which was basically non-existent before the Film Commission was created, and obviously has also helped the rebranding of the region in terms of like tourism and national relevance more broadly. In terms of how the fund works, it's only for like micro, small, medium-sized companies, production companies that can be Italian or European. Producers applying might be producers or co-producers or associate producers to the project, which means like that they have to own a share of the rights, which can be even like minority co-producers owning at least 10% of the rights, but also executive producers that are in charge of the shooting part, which will take place in the Puglia region. And this aid is cumulative with the Italian tax credit. So you can get, also for the executive producer, you can get both the tax credit and a regional fund. We support all types of projects, which include feature films, series, documentaries, animation projects, both feature-length films and series, and short films. In terms of like the requirements, this is pretty much like how most regional funds work, because we are like supposed to be a sort of like second step fund, so there has to be another institution or another private investor stepping in before us. So we require a certain amount of financial coverage when at the time of the application, which is 45% of the cost of the sample copy for feature films, series, and animation, 30% for documentaries, and 20% for short films. Then a minimum production, minimum shooting days on the territory, which correspond to 30% for all projects. And we also require a distribution deal with a distributor, a broadcaster, or a streamer for films, series, and animation projects, whereas for the other categories is not mandatory. Mm-hmm. In terms of how it works, it's a cash rebate. Yeah. So it works, it's actually a cash rebate, which means that you spend on the territory and then you get the money back. But there is a sort of like test that, you know, an evaluation grid. So it's not an automatic contribution. Every project is assessed through an evaluation that I will explain later. And there are 3 different percentages of cash rebate. 35 is the minimum, the basic one. 40 is for co-productions, and 60 is for difficult audiovisual works, which applies according to the Italian legislation to first and second features from a director, documentaries, short films, film that cost less than 2.5 million, and films that have received a selective grant from the Ministry of Culture, the Italian Ministry of Culture. So then you have to, then there are also thresholds in terms of what you can receive according to the category, which span from, for instance, for feature films from 80,000 to 320,000. But in order to reach that amount, you have to spend, you have to calculate how much you know, the expenditure and in relation to the rate that applies. So I've written an example. So if you spend 900,000 and 35% is your rate, then you will receive the maximum. So it's kind of like calculated at the time of when the grant is allocated, basically. Yeah, there are like 3 stages when applying. First of all, it's like there are windows for application. It's not like a all-round year scheme, and this year we had a window at the beginning of the year, and we received more than 100 applications. Actually, like, to be honest, we are not slow, but we're not like we take like 3 or 4 months to evaluate all of them. We do first a formal eligibility assessment internally, our offices, after which a list of eligible and uneligible applications are published, and we can ask, in this stage, we can ask for more documentation or clarification. Then we do an assessment, which is carried out by an external committee of experts from the audiovisual sector, in which projects are actually evaluated against a grid, and scores are assigned to projects. The maximum is 100 and the minimum is 27, and then a total ranking of the projects are then published, the eligible projects and those who are going to receive the funding according to their score. So the highest, and from the highest to the lowest. And then, then each beneficiary company is notified and starts another stage, so to speak, in which obviously they have the time to shoot the project, shoot the movie and make the expenses, and they can receive the money either in one lump sum at the end after completion of the project, and obviously after submission of the cost report, or in 2 installments. One advance 40%, and after the completion of the project, the final balance. In terms of what happens is that the amount, the subsidy approved at the time of the allocation can only be modified, can only be redetermined after the auditing procedure of the balance report, and can only be downsized. Obviously, it cannot be, upgraded. And the most, I think, basic rules that most regional funds share is that the expenses qualify only if paid during the period of eligibility, which runs from the day after the application. So no expenses, no shooting must have started before the application up until the end. Usually, we give 12 months for all categories except for animation, that is 20 months to complete the project, and extensions are possible if requested timely. We have, our latest report, which is from 2020, showed that for every euro that is invested in terms of public aid, in terms of grant, there is a direct return of 4 euros on the territory. And also there is an indirect return which doubled that 4 euro. Because of all the, the way the economic fabric has to adapt for the amount of productions coming to the territory. So we are really confident, and also the Puglia region and the politicians, that this is a good investment for us in terms of channeling those European funds to towards this kind of activities. Just one case study. It was a series shot in 2020, actually. It's on Netflix, but the company that applied was a small company. You can see that the amount of grant was 450,000, but the amount spent on the region was really much more, almost 3 million. And as well as the number of working, workers, Apulian workers, and working days. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that, for instance, we have created one of our most important tools, I forgot to say, is the production guide, which is a database of workers based in the region, as well as suppliers and vendors. So every production coming to the territory would hire people, professionals from that database, and then those expenses will qualify for our fund. So it's really a way also to encourage, obviously, the employment and the professionalizations of workers, from the sector. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. It was very interesting to see major differences with our country in terms of, the Film Commission being in charge and the Film Fund under it. But we will get into that when we will discuss. I would like to ask Neoklis Mantas, the newly appointed director of the Hellenic Film Commission, to carry on with his presentation.
Hello, I'm Neoklis Mantas. I'm new in the team of the new organization. I'm here since May 2024. Okay. And this is my presentation. I'm going to be precise and brief because we are not a regional department. We are dealing with the whole country. I will try to give you the picture in a catchy way about what we're doing. And these are the contents of my presentation. I'm attempting a cheesy play with time. I'm going to talk about now what we have, what we do, and what incentives we're going to have. Then I'm going to have a flashback with you to our highlights, the cinematic landscapes in Greece, and some testimonials that are very crucial in our work. And it is a kind of a good work good word for coming again to be a repeater in having filming in Greece. And then a fast forward about the vision for 2025 until 2027 with two categories. Okay, first of all, the role and the incentives we're talking about now. As Mr. Christopoulos said previously, we have a new organization. We have joint powers. Greek Film Center and ECOME joined their forces and became a new organization, Hellenic Film and Audiovisual Center, Creative Greece, with common targeting, joint forces, and unified policy. Now we're going to focus on what is the Hellenic Film Commission. I tried to make it a little bit catchy and think how we act, and I choose 4 items: a compass, a node, a catalyst, and an observatory. A compass because the Hellenic Film Commission, and any commission in the world, must give an effective navigation within the Greek landscape. A node because we have to give an efficient connection with the local professionals of the Greek audiovisual landscape. A catalyst because in many things we are doing in facilitation, bureaucratic facilitation, because in Greece it's very crucial in order to have shooting, to have some kind of letters of facilitations and certifications. I will mention them later. And of course, observatory, we're trying to be up-to-date about what is coming, what is rising in the audiovisual and filmic sector. This. And then I build on these items the compass navigate. Here we have the locations. As you know, Greece has multiple locations throughout history for all this stuff. Ancient, Byzantine, modern, contemporary. And also here we have the regional film offices that are going to play a crucial role in the new SEMA that is going to be rising. The node is for connection. We connect. In our website, which Venya was the inspirator, and Savroula, and our graphic designer, build. We have an online interesting guide about over 200 entries of Greek professionals. And of course, here we have also the networking that we have to do with the local authorities and the public bodies. The thing about the catalyst is the facilitation. Since 2017, I think, we have given 380 letters of facilitation in order to have better conditions in their filming for Greek and foreign audiovisual productions, and over 490 non-violence, racism, and sexism certifications. Because if you want to make a shooting in Greece in a monument, you have to be given this kind of certification in order to be permitted and to be allowed to have your shooting. And also the monitoring. We are members of Association of Film Commission International and the EUFCN, of course. And now we are also a member of the Green Film with Stavroula, my colleague, is responsible for all the Greek stuff and things like this. And of course, within this, we are trying to the fortification of expertise with seminar gatherings, talks, markets, talent development, and we're trying to reinforce this stuff. So I'm having some pictures about the locations. Of course, here we have the monuments, the classic Greece, the ancient and the Byzantine. You can recognize some monuments. But Greece is not only the monuments, it's also nature. We have very nice and special locations, mountains, volcanoes. You can see the main picture is the volcano of Nisyros in an island. Of course, we have the beaches. We all remember Grand Blue, Amorgos. and stuff from Crete to Samothraki. We have many places to be, like summer. And of course, we have in the landmarks of our new and contemporary identity, from the Acropolis Museum to the landmark of the Stavros Niarchos Foundation and stuff like this. And also, I have to mention that Greece is also has a very unique urban identity that can be used in various productions as a doppelganger for productions. Of course, I have to mention that we have been crowned with the location award of the EUFCN. Venya knows better. In 2018 and 2022. 2018 for the TV series The Darrells, and 2022 about the film of Osdorf, Triangle of Sanders. The Hiliadou Evia Beach. As I mentioned, we pay attention to our industry directory. We are keep updating it. It's free. Any professional from Greece can have a free entry there. And this is our guide for potential producers from abroad that want to be connected with locals. So we have some criteria. For example, if you want to, we have the categories. You go to the location manager, and then we have the in how many foreign productions they were part. Because we are a public sector organization, we cannot promote certain companies. We just give the clear image. Okay, we have the incentives, which is the nuclear weapon here. We have the cash rebate 40%. It's going to be open again at the beginning of February. It will be 40% again, and it will be accompanied with a tax relief of 30%. And as a film commission, as a Hellenic Film Commission, we have, as a Greek Film Center, as a Directorate of Cinema now in the new organization, we have two minor programs. One is the Location Scouting Program, which is in our department, and it has to do with foreign productions that they want to make shooting in Greece. And they are interested in finding locations, so we have a kind of a subsidy for coming here and big guide. Yeah. And I have the example of the return that it was premiered. The Greek premiere was here on Saturday, I think. And also the minority program, which is run by the Department of Development and Production, which tries to get Greece in the co-production game. The example for this kind is The Harvest, also here for Athena Rahil Tsagari. Yeah. And now, past flashback. These are the most popular films that are shot in Greece lately. Of course, we have also the classics, Mamma Mia. We all know Mamma Mia or Le Grand Bleu. But we also have Tehran, the series, Crimes of Future, from David Cronenberg. The Lost Daughter, which was premiered in Netflix. Just a few of what you can see here. The Expendables, of course. Elena will talk about this. And some testimonials, because testimonials, as I said previously, it's the good word that is spread rapidly and make producers come again. I've chosen two directors and one producer, Park Chan-hyuk, of course, for The Little Drummer Girl, who stresses the locations that we have in kinds of legacy. Yeah, Ruben Ostland. About the crew and the local, how powerful are the locals here and how willing they are in order to be cooperative and make everything possible. And of course, Christopher Hall, the producer of The Darrells, which he stresses the mixed, that filming is a place that we meet together from all backgrounds, and we're doing something harmonious and worthy. And a few words about the future. I am okay with time? 2 points I have to stress. The brand, we want to move towards a brand about what is filming in Greece. We're going to approach the image and the identity that we have. The image, of course, is what we have as an image in films. Okay? And the identity is the whole experience that by deciding in coming in Greece and do your shooting, what makes this different from being to another place. This is philoxenia, this is accessibility, this is all kind of stuff. And this is a very ambitious project that we have in mind with my colleagues that we're going to try and give it a try to make it possible. And of course, we are in the middle of setting up an effective network of film offices. We have 4 active regional film offices, 2 newly founded regional film offices, and we have 7 more to come because the concept is that every region, as Puglia region, for example, we may, it's not obligatory, may have its film office. Okay? And this is my team. We're 3. I am, Neoklis, Stavroula is here with us, and Merto is at the office in Athens. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Neoklis. And now I would like to ask Lina Milonaki from the Film Office of Central Macedonia, who is the instigator of everything that is happening in front of you right now and here. And I'm very grateful for that. So
thank you, Venya.
It's all because of you that we're here today.
Thank you. You're exaggerating. Thank you. So thank you all for your presence here today. I'm going to show you a presentation with locations that will be a background of what I'm saying. I will talk about this year's talk, which follows a series of networking events that we organized in previous festivals here at the AGORA, aimed at inviting industry professionals to get to know who we are in Central Macedonia. The first talk was to know more about our talented local professionals. In our first talk, Meet the Industry. The second one was to discover the kinds of audiovisual productions we supported in Meet the Projects. The third one was to explore the wonderful locations of Central Macedonia in Meet the Locations. This year, we have a scope that covers a variety of synergies that allows us to develop our strength as a regional film office in Greece. This is the reason why we are together here with the EUFCN, representing the dynamic network of film commissions and offices around Europe, of which we are members. And thank you, Venya, very good for the excellent collaboration and your presence here. And of course, Adrian, next to me, the co-president. The Hellenic Film Commission, the National Film Commission of Greece, our umbrella, which under the new organization of the Hellenic Film and Audiovisual Center, Creative Greece, promises a new versatile future. Neoklis Mandas, thank you for joining and for all the things you said about the network. And I would also like to thank our colleagues, Martina Lovascio from Apulia Film Commission, for sharing all the great information about the regional film funds, what a region can really do if it tries hard and believes in that strength. And of course, Adrian Mitchell from Oslo Film Commission for kindly accepting our invitation to join us. So, on behalf of our Film Office Central Macedonia, we have decided to cover another complementary aspect and to address what we have considered to be one of our best practices, which are synergies between film and tourism within the administrative structure of our region, as we are a public entity. As you know, the fusion of film and tourism has become a dynamic avenue for promoting destinations and boosting local economies worldwide. This interplay, often referred to as film-induced tourism or film tourism, leverages popular films and TV shows to attract visitors to filming locations. This collaboration works successfully, and it has multiple potential impacts on both the audiovisual and tourism sectors in every area. In the Greek paradigm, traditionally, the tourism departments have been introduced and developed as administrative structures early enough in the public domain in Greece, as the country was promoted from the decade of the 30s, back in the 20th century, by the Greek National Tourist Organization, EOT, as a tourist destination for an international audience. To this context, the Greek Ministry of Tourism, and later on, we ourselves, the Regional Directorate of Tourism in the regions, in the Greek regions, have been useful tools to enhance the competitiveness of the tourism product, to support investments in the region, to promote tourism education, training, and coordinated communication to promote the image of Greece abroad. In addition, of course, tourism infrastructure and facilities have been essential prerequisites for the successful attraction and facilitation of audiovisual projects in a region. Now, to be more specific about ourselves, when our film office was officially established in Central Macedonia in 2020 through the initiative of the regional governor, Mr. Apostolos Dizikostas, as an autonomous public entity, it was clear from the very beginning that we would have the support of the Regional Directorate of Tourism. Besides, our region, Central Macedonia, is considered to be one of the most established tourist destinations in Greece, which has also a considerable growth potential in thematic tourism products, such as film tourism is. And of course, film tourism can enhance and diversify our region's tourism offerings. For this reason, the tourism sector within the region was a safer and more accessible choice for us to rely on, in order to financially support, and not only to financially support, but also to develop our promotional tools and services in becoming a film-friendly destination for audiovisual productions in Greece. So our collaboration with the Directorate of Tourism internally in the region of Central Macedonia began with two destination marketing and branding initiatives. The first one was obvious, to build a functional and attractive website, official website for the Film Office Central Macedonia, with the usual main goals to attract, to advertise locations and the local crews. The second one was particularly difficult, but in a way easier within the tourism sector. When the Greek cash rebate was introduced almost 10 years ago, and it was operated by ECOME, which spread the idea of Studio Greece and attracted successful international productions coming in the country more and more often, the need for extroversion for us was evident. So the collaboration between the film and tourism sectors in the region of Central Macedonia started from our film office's participation in major film markets and events, such as the Marseille Film in Cannes, the European Film Market in Berlin, Focus the Location Show in London, When East Meets West in Trieste Film Festival, where we met with Martina, and she's now here, Venice Production Bridge in Biennale Cinema, covering almost all relevant cases in Europe. These were our first efforts to find our position in the international audiovisual industry, and at the same time to be in accordance with the national paradigm, as our Director of Tourism does, with its national umbrella, that is the EOT, the GNTO, the Greek National Tourist Organization. So, after having gained visibility and established our participation in major film markets and festivals abroad, what was next? We have to start fostering relationships with industry stakeholders in order to demonstrate our film office's active role in supporting the film industry and the local talents in Central Macedonia, in the region. Thus, through our partnership with the Directorate of Tourism, we have been able to participate in or co-organize a series of film events in our region, as well as abroad, such as a masterclass with a storyboard artist of Game of Thrones, William Simpson, at the Comic-Con, Thessaloniki Comic Convention 2 years ago, organizing a film trip for Greek location managers in Central Macedonia, the first regional film trip held for location managers to get them to know the area with the support of the Hellenic Film Commission, to support the 36th Pan-Hellenic Conference of Greek Film Clubs, titled Macedonian's Landscape in Greek Cinema, held in Kilkis for symbolical reasons, I will explain later, in Thessaloniki, in 2023, to participate upon selection at the Green Film Lab Athens in 2024, organized by the Torino Film Lab and the Hellenic Film Commission, to collaborate as partners in the event to celebrate Greek cinema in the 81st Venice International Film Festival this year, together with the festival, with the COBE and the Greek Film Center before their merging. And in 2024, to participate a month ago as a regional filming destination, Central Macedonia, the only Greek regional destination in Shooting Locations Marketplace 2024 in Valladolid, Spain, organized by Feria de Valladolid and Spain Film Commission with the support of EUFCN and I think of the Creative Europe Media. To better achieve that, a film office team was founded with the aim to facilitate, both financially and operationally, collaborations among the film office and the Directorate of Tourism. Now, looking back at the successful results of this collaboration today, 4 years and a half later, I would like to thank the Governor of Central Macedonia, Mr. Ditzikostas, for his insightful guidance throughout the years, and all the Vice Governors of Tourism who warmly embraced these ideas and warmly supported them. So I would like to name Mr. Alexandros Thanos, former Vice Governor of Tourism, Mrs. Christina Goula, and now our best supporter, Mrs. Vicky Hatzivasiliou, for their valuable help and constant support. I would also like to thank all my colleagues at the Directorate of Tourism, older and new ones, as well as my teammates, Mr. Leonidas and Mrs. Alexandra Gaitanaki from the Tourism Department, for making this collaboration work smoothly and efficiently within the region and outside it. So what did we learn from all of these? And what did the region gain from this synergy? First of all, our connection with the tourism sector through the Directorate of Tourism helped us gain time and resources. We didn't have to start from scratch, but we worked together with experienced professionals of the public domain. It wasn't easy in the beginning because film is a different industry than tourism is, but of course we found ways of collaborating. In addition, we were able to find our national umbrella for film markets, that is the Hellenic Film Commission of the Greek Film Center, now of Creative Greece, with whom we signed an MOU. This collaboration, modeled by tourism practices with the GNTO, would coordinate the regional film offices in Greece, like our film office, to be part of a concise national strategy of Greece as an attractive filming destination. So the umbrella is the national one, and we are the network, the regional ones. This has also made us taking first steps among the other regional film offices of Greece to develop collaborations with partners from abroad, such as other film commissions, the Veneto Film Commission, the Mallorca Film Commission, the Torino Film Lab, the Apulia Film Commission, just to name a few. But as this was not enough, the Directorate of Tourism has been directly involved in supporting film productions in the area. In the case of the two films I'm going to mention, it can be considered as case studies par excellence, because it was not only that we as a film office supported and we provided facilitation and services to the production, but which is a rare case, I think, nationwide, the Directorate of Tourism in Central Macedonia supported in kind the two productions, which were mainly or partly shot in our region, and they were production value for our region. These were the films Behind the Haystacks, an Argonauts production by Yasimina Proedrou, and Luna Park by Florence Papas, a co-production of Albania, Greece, Croatia, and Kosovo, which premieres here today, a few hours later at Pavlo Zana Cinema. You have the time to watch it afterwards in the festival, as part of the international competition. So, these films belong to a specific category, quite rare, whose narrative space is the same as the space where they are shot. Therefore, simply meaning, their stories take place within our region, thus advertising directly their location, so which is a better advertise than to have a film shot in your region and showing more about your region. So, this gave us the idea for this year's showreel, that will just follow, with the movies filmed in Central Macedonia, that presents the dynamics and diversity of the locations, building a filmography of the region. like Neoklis mentioned before, filmed in Greece, filmed in Central Macedonia. So thank you for your attention, and please let's watch the video together. Thank you.
Ο Μπαρμαγιάννης.
Wow. Great job in the region. So many powerful images. So we started from the south. We came a little bit northern, and now we go
Straight up to the pole.
Straight up, exactly. So Adrian Mitchell.
Thank you,
it's
Vega.
you.
And thank you all for your immensely grateful invitation to join Thessaloniki Film Festival and Agora Talks. Again, I would remember I was here 3 years ago with some colleagues from the EUFCN, and I'm immensely impressed by your work, really. I hear all the details that you were thinking about, all your plans, and the way you've come. I mean, you're light years ahead, and you're really, really doing well. You got the point of being a great film commissioner, office, and united in alliances all across Europe. So heads up. Good. Go for it. So my name is Adrian. I'm coming from Oslo. I'm working in something called the City of Oslo, as you might know. There's an official partner. I'm a one-man band. Hence, now my anxiety of coming after your presentation, your beautiful presentations. But I am working in a department of the mayor called the Cultural and Business Development, which is a newly combined department. Used to be only culture. But we really do believe that culture and business development in terms of film is essential. The industry drives the movement and the ability for culture to arise. And if it's not culture now, we really, really need to support our culture, language and everything. So this is a short video now, and I'll show you my city. Welcome. Thank you. I hope you're impressed by the full moon behind the opera. It's real. Oslo is trying to be as green as possible. We have well, it's not clean energy, but there is energy coming from water, hydropower, wind. We also have a climate budget in the city, which we try to mix with the fiscal budget. But we also have a national 25% cash rebate, which we attract international major large productions into our country, into Oslo, into anywhere in the country. And that's to, well, it's to attract foreign investment, really. So bringing in the money brings the industry, nurturing the creativity and the creative room, which then nurtures the culture, which is on the soft scheme power. So it's two different things, but one is more of the industry selective, and then, the selective scheme is the grants and short films, documentaries, and etc. So it's a bit of a different thing. And then we we do support, as the also Film Commission, we do support scouting service. We try to tailor each project, so we're out fishing as well. I mean, we're trying to sort of locate which kind of projects are moving. We try to get the big whales, of course, you know, like Bond. We shared Bond, which was really nice. And then, depending on the size of the project, what they want, we try to tailor the scouting services, and we'll probably get into this discussion about how the film commissions work actively. But I work both operational and strategic. So I work with the mayor, well, the deputy mayor, of forming the future strategies of the film commission and the film work. We built up a fund as well, but it's a separate company outside. And now we're in talks of how to develop the film commission. I mean, a one-man band, I can deal with a lot of things, and I do have a diagnosis, but, you know. Anyway, so we provide advice and guidance, and you can check out everything in oslofilm.no if you're curious. It's very filming in Oslo, and then incentives and funding, which is the basic two things a producer wants to know about. And I couldn't leave out this picture. Unfortunately, I come circling back to this TV series, which was my first series, and this illustrates a lot of kind of, okay, what are we doing? It's a modern architecture. It's a medieval environment with two police people. What are you doing? Are you sorting out the business and the industry, or are you actually facilitating for anything, or how to bring in the chicken, and which comes first, chicken and the egg? So that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Short, but everything was there from Oslo, and tons of other things that Film Commissioner from Oslo is doing, Adrian. Very, very quickly, I will give an idea of what the EUFCN is, and then we start discussing, and we also open it up with you guys. So the Hellenic Film Commission, the Region of Central Macedonia, Oslo Film Commission are members of the EUFCN, which is a non-profit organization for the last 18 years in Europe. It has 100 film commissions members from 32 countries in Europe, and they are very different. So they are national film commissions, they are regional or provincial film commissions, or they are city-based, like in the case of Oslo. So they're different capacity members. You see here the number of them. And here's briefly the mission from within and in open dialogue with the film industry, to share knowledge, best practices, training activities, networking opportunities for the members. We have an amazing award, you will see later, and to promote, of course, the locations of Europe, and to be an open door with the film industry, to work hand in hand with the creatives and the producers, and of course, the distribution of the audiovisual work that is created in the regions of our members. these are some of the events we organize throughout the year. We have the General Assembly of our members most of the times every year during Berlinale at the European Film Market, where we have a matchmaking event with the European Producers Club, which is very, very fruitful. We're going to have it again this year. And as I mentioned earlier, the EUFCN organizes the Location Award, like you also at Neocle's presentation. So last year it was a location from Ireland, the big winner. This is an award that its mission is to showcase the importance of the work of film commissions, not only being the facilitators of showcasing beautiful and amazing locations, or ugly locations, or needed locations, but also to underline the importance of being the facilitators, the key people that open doors, solve problems, etc. And also we have events during the Marseille Film in Cannes, like this year with very successful panels, and again, matchmaking events between our Film Commission members and producers. Upcoming events in that format, but also something bigger that we're building, suspense. We cannot say more now. Here's the map of Europe, where you can see where the members of the EUFCN are based. So basically, the entire Europe. Thank you for the opportunity to have a glimpse of what EUFCN is. This is the setup. It's run by the board of directors, who are film commissioners, members elected by the members. Okay, and I'm the manager. And the reason why maybe you heard my name before is because I was the former film commissioner of Greece. Hence the connection with Leonidas, Christopoulos, and Neocles and Lina. So before we thank you for the opportunity to have this presentation, I would like to ask everyone in the room to tell us how many of you are producers, if any, okay, and how many of you are creatives in the process before and after, okay, wonderful, and institutional representatives, apart of course from Leonidas and Vicky. Not many. Oh, of course, many. Okay, great. And of course, we're very, very happy to have Victoria Hislop here, the ambassador of AGORA. Thank you for being here, the acclaimed novel writer. Thank you very much for being here. You will be part of the discussion, of course, because you have things to share with us. I start with the first question. Do's and don'ts between film commissioners and producers when they approach you. Shall we start with you, Adrian, being the most experienced in terms of time film commissioner?
Well, didn't seem like it. But do's and don'ts. Well, it's kind of a, I don't know, you take your time with the producer. The producer comes with a project, and it might be sort of in a kind of a late in a process sometimes, or very often. They come in late in the process, and they're looking for some locations, they're looking for some financial support, either in naturalia or in cash. And you have to find kind of a solution to the producer's problems, and you also have to find some, solutions to directors' vision, which is kind of the basics where everybody works. So for a producer, I would strongly recommend that once you have a kind of a itch to a script, try to localize a local film commission, because the help is there. It's like a door opener for everyone, really. So that's a deuce.
The earlier, the better.
The earlier, the better, definitely. Be a part of the game, really. Do you want to fill in, Lina?
I was about to say just the same, to communicate their needs on time, the producers, but for the film commissioners to be flexible and responsive. Sometimes the producers are not sure what they want, or they are not sure about using a film commission, or they don't know, we were discussing it backstage, they don't know how to make use of us. We should be patient to listen to them, listen to their needs, be flexible, be responsive, and always tell the truth of what we can do and what we cannot do, what we offer and what we cannot offer.
Because this is building trust, right? And from your side?
I think I was going to say more or less the same, like try to approach the film commission you know, when you have the intention of like, you know, when you want to locate the story there, but also if you intend to, for instance, apply to our fund, make sure that you ask all the questions before and that you are aware of all the requirements, because it often happens that producers are convinced that they can shoot something and that they can be eligible, and then it turns out that they've made mistakes because they have making expenses of shooting before, or even if because the company don't abide by certain regulations that we request in terms of like how the company is structured. So make contact with the offices before, you know, way before you want to start shooting, and then obviously at all levels in terms of like, you know, location scouting, but also if you want to access our fund, you know, make sure that you communicate.
Or even before applying.
Yeah, exactly. Also because, I mean, this is obviously the problem in Italy because, I guess, because a producer has to try to reason in terms of like what the ministry offers, what the regional funds can offer, but then has to kind of like jiggle between different timetables, and the fact that sometimes public institutions are kind of like, you know, sometimes late in delivering the results of the application. So I understand it's difficult for the producers, but the more they communicate with us, the better for everyone.
And I want to add the openness that the producer must have, and be well informed. Nowadays, with the internet, we have access to all the precious information. And from my point of view, in the Hellenic Film Commission, we have a very special program, the location scouting program, which is very, very important to make a surprise. You can make a location scouting here in Greece, and of course with cooperation with location managers and local producers, we can show things, and original film offices, of course. We can show things that a producer cannot imagine that we have here in Greece, because the crucial thing is that we're not only beaches, white houses, and stuff. We have endless and very endless variations of landscapes that can accommodate stories, and this is very crucial.
It is, and you can also kind of add, the thing is, the discretion a film office has. You know, we're a closed circuit, but we're open for, you know, if you have a challenge as a producer, we can try and find out, because we know the local community, we know how it works, and sometimes it's, you know, it's a much even cost efficient surprise for the producer.
And also that is why it is extremely important for a country to have regional film offices, because it's not as easy for a national film commission to know all the locations available in one country. The regional film officers have deeper knowledge. The better you know your territory, the better you can promote it to producers and make them think out of the box, because they go against stereotypes and they find places they would have never imagined that they could find in an area.
And the concept of the regional film office is that we are going to attempt a scale down to both the landscapes that we have and also to the services that we offer.
And how do you work with your crew and your local industry in terms of maximizing them, developing their skills? Do you organize any specific events? How do you strategize this? Who goes first? Oslo? Norway?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Again. Norway. Yeah, I'll stress the mic. No, we try to, well, we actually invite the crew. I mean, different equipment houses, different talented crew. VFX, you have grip, you have lighting, camera, optics, all these kind of things that you try to invite to different events, international, build up the international relationship. We work with the embassies, we work with the consulates across the globe. I was just in India. We work closely with the Bollywood scene, trying to build up a relationship in Bollywood and Tollywood, and Hollywood, of course, UK. So we're trying to sort of use these hubs for the huge, larger studio productions, but also in co-production markets. So we try to introduce and just create the room, really.
Lena?
It's on. Okay, I would say that we go for networking strategies and networking events. That's why we're here today. It's a networking event for our local industry as well as the foreign people who are here, the foreign professionals. We regularly participate in the festivals, AGORAs, and all the film markets every November and every March here in the festival, the feature films and the documentary edition of AGORA. And we try to go to smaller scale but focused networking events like the one I mentioned in Trieste, When East Meets West, not only to get better knowledge on what we do, but to facilitate our local professionals to find ways of opening up and build their strength together with the film office. So I think we are doing it in parallel, and up to now it works.
And just to make it further clear, being at these events, the more you talk to producers and people producing in all professions, the more people get to know what exactly you can do to help them, and the possibility of that is really vast. You can open doors, you can solve problems. Do you have cases of troubleshooting, good troubleshooting stories where you intervened to save a situation, to solve a problem?
I mean, no, because I don't particularly work in that sort of field, because I work more on the fund. I don't know how to answer to this question specifically, but I wanted to add something to the previous question. For instance, we have established partnerships with When East Meets West and Torino Film Lab to select local producers to be to participate to the When East Meets West Lab and to the Torino Film Lab Boost It Lab is a program. So we try to establish partnerships with other institutions for local producers to be basically supported financially to go there, so we cover their expenses and everything. In terms of like the local crew, another thing that we have established in the fund is that if you hire Apulian workers, the cost of them, you can sort of like, the cost of them is reimbursable even if you use them for sets which are placed elsewhere, so the rest of the sets. So it's a way to sort of like encourage the hiring of professionals in the region, and this has overall created a situation for which we can say that the crew is very experienced in the region, so it's easy for producers to know that if they come to shoot there, they can rely on the fact that people are experienced and have worked on different types of productions, also high scale, and whereas in terms of
it must be very effective, because
it
it's a very clever
it has proven
move.
effective, and so this is something that most producers in Italy know that they can rely on this. Whereas regarding the location, I don't know, recently we had the movie. Puglia has been used to double very often, like Northern Africa and Middle East. So the recent experience that we had was with a movie that has not premiered yet, is art house film, a co-production between Italy, Germany, and Canada. And the director is from the Golan Peninsula, and he wanted to reproduce, so the movie is all shot in Germany, but he wanted to reproduce a dream set in his homeland, which is for him very difficult to shoot there. And so we convinced the producer, the Italian producer, to scout him around Puglia, and he actually, he was surprised by finding again a landscape that was different from what he had imagined, he had envisioned, because obviously everyone has the idea of like white beaches and sort of like Mediterranean landscape. And so, he decided to, move the part of the shooting there. Yeah.
Okay. Success story.
And also one thing I want to add to the previous question, that we are really interested in supporting initiatives in the regional level of finding locals in especially in the newly established film offices, and support them for having workshops, seminars, talks, and gatherings for having, an upgrade, not only the metropolitan area that we have, but also in the regional, in the other regions we have as Greece, and the talents, and exploit the talents that we may have.
And my next question will go again to the north and the south from abroad, because I think in terms of Greece, the evidence is in the room. How close are your politicians to what you're doing? And how do you make them engaged in understanding the privilege of operating in your regions?
No, I think that I mean, they're very close. It's been an investment for like years that the politicians and Puglia has made on the audiovisual sector, because it has proven so effective. Again, not only for the economic impacts, but also in terms of like communication and rebranding the image of the region. I think also for the for the effects on tourism. So politicians are very close and in strict connection, not necessarily with the director, which is the manager, but also with the president, because we have a board of members. So they are expression of the politicians, and so it's kind of like politicians are always very close to what the strategy of the Film Commission and how and I think it's we can say that there is a huge investment, not only economic, but also in terms of like responsibility that we feel towards them. So yeah.
In Oslo, how many phone calls away?
How many phone calls?
From the
well,
politicians?
it feels close, but then again, it's very far away. Sometimes no. It works because the interest is growing. So I think actually sort of the imagery and the understanding of the importance of film as both an industry and a cultural arena is getting more and more conscious to it. So it's the traditional industry is going over to more, okay, we're looking into creative industries, so what do you do with the creative industries and how does that work for human beings across the world?
And because you said the interest is growing in your country, what is the impact of the streamers shooting in Norway? Because I'm sure everybody in the room knows about the massive success of Tom Cruise shooting in Norway. These incredible scenes.
Well, he comes back and back and back. He still comes back with his private jet to jump the mountains or
Tommy
parachute,
will always keep coming back in Norway.
All over the place. No, well, the streamers have, well, to answer your question, the streamers has done a lot. And, well, kind of funny enough, but during the pandemic, that was the rise, that was the climax of our production. The national broadcaster NRK started shooting in May 2020. After all the safety protocols were gone through the different departments. We landed it, and then we started shooting 5th of May. And then after that, it just went growing. And then we had, I mean, we had Netflix, we had Amazon, we had HBO Nordic, we had Viaplay, but it was just a rise. It just went into heaven, and then it dropped. Because Viaplay went bankrupt, they were going into sports. So, you have your different market situation, and now Netflix is, it's solid. We've had like huge Troll, as an example, was had the largest number of viewers in Netflix on a foreign language. Nobody really believed that Norwegian would reach that far. But it's like, okay, well, we proved it now, so let's go. So yeah, Netflix is quite strong. Amazon is building up. HBO is back. So yeah, it's rolling. It's rolling, but it's not as fast as it was 2 years ago.
But it takes time, of course, and every single answer of every single email, every single move, everything adds up. So,
well, definitely, yeah. And I mean, coming back actually to the cruise. I mean, you're connecting crews, new people together. It's all about trust, because once you press the button on the film production, the money rolls, and it rolls very, very fast. So you need to build up crew, but if you also have like good stories that can travel, people are interested in different languages. So like, the old trauma of
language barrier.
Yeah, it travels.
Yeah.
And language travels, stories travels, and that's, people travel in their spare time. So yeah.
I was given the sign of the limited time available. Is there any question from anyone or any comment, any intervention? Mrs. Hislop would like to make some comment?
No, I'm happy here. as long as people behind me don't mind the back. I'm Victoria Hislop, and although I'm British, I write novels set in Greece, and 3 of those have been adapted for Greek television. The first one for one of the commercial channels, Mega here, and 2 others for ERT, the national channel. And apart from a few scenes, they were entirely filmed in Greece. That's where the stories were set in the first place. And it was an extraordinary experience. And the headlines for me really were the collaboration and the cooperation of local people. That was quite exceptional. So wherever we needed extras, people poured out of their homes to be our extras. And we had, in terms of the period where these stories were actually set, most of them were earlier in the 20th century. So we're talking in film, TV terms, period. And for locations, if we needed a timeless village that might have been in the 1930s or 40s, there were plenty. And they haven't changed, not one bit. There are no... I don't even think in Greece they know what a yellow line is, and certainly not a red line, which are the plague of filming anything in the UK now. So you can recreate scenes from the past very easily. You can get extras. Greece, for sure, for the size of its population, has a disproportionate amount of talent, not just in acting terms, but in technical terms. I don't know where all these talented people are being trained, but we had extraordinary results at every level. Costumes, you have composers here, you have makeup, every aspect of the technical side you can find. And we were in Crete filming for the first 2 of those series, and many people came from Athens. I know as a creative person, the whole financial side is slightly a mystery, but I know for sure that the cost of accommodation and food, as I say, the extras was extraordinarily low. I can't even bear to tell you what the per episode cost was.
Please don't.
I won't. Otherwise you'll get too many people coming from outside. But it was an exceptional result that looks like €1 million an episode, maybe $1.5 million on screen, but the reality was very much lower. What else can I say? It was a 100% successful experience for everybody, all 3 series, and that was largely down, as I say, to the talent and the generosity of everybody who facilitated that. And I have to just mention Joanna Davis from Indigo View.
Big applause.
Who was a producer on the island. Anybody who's never seen an episode of that, go on YouTube and you'll see something that looks like $1 billion. So thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you so much. Nothing better than a good testimonial coming from abroad. Another question from someone? No. Okay, before we wrap it up, one final question to our lovely speakers, okay? The golden triptych for a film commission, for a film commissioner. The top 3 elements that a successful film commission should do or have.
If you don't know your area, grab a bicycle and get around.
Know your area, the best way you can. Know your people and build relationships of trust.
Nucleus and Martina?
Okay. Yeah, know your area, know the context in which you're based, so know the, the legislation
of course,
of the country you need to operate, and set some goals for the future in order to kind of like try to accomplish them in a, try to envision yourself in the future and see where you want to be positioned.
Neoklis?
And I think creativity. Be creative, both in finding solutions in a very smart way, witty way, but also knowing that apart from a business, cinema is art.
Of course.
And try to conceptualize it and keep up with the directors.
Can I add one thing, Vena? Just
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, love it. That's true. First of all, love it, cherish it, and inspire. Inspire your local bureaucrats, your legislators. Inspire, inspire, inspire. And then, pick up your seeds and then plant them all over the place. So you get. Lena, you want to add something?
Love will come back, I think.
Of course, of course. And it will come back also because film commissioners are colleagues. Even though people might think that countries compete, who's going to get the next Brad Pitt movie, film commissioners are colleagues, and this is the magic behind their work. Thank you so much all for being here. It was a pleasure to have you in the room, and we are always available to talk. And we also invite, of course, the Region of Central Macedonia is kindly inviting everyone for a networking cocktail event taking place at Kitchen Bar at 7 p.m. So we're looking forward to meet you and carry on the discussion there. Thank you, Agora. Thank you, Thanos and Angeliki. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for coming. And for those who also want, there is happy hour next door until you go to the other event. Thank you.